Hello, hello. Hey guys, I got some things to say here. So we've seen Bill C-30 being passed. Can you hear me? Check, check.
No, of course. You have to lose the mask.
Check, check. Everybody hear me? Okay, we've seen Vic Toews trying to pass Bill C-30, and we've seen the fashion in which he tried to do it, saying that Canadians can either stand with him and the Conservatives getting this passed, or stand with child pornographers. Now, this legislation has nothing to do with stopping child pornography. In fact, it wasn't until the day before they tried to put the bill into legislation that they mentioned child pornography. If you read the bill, it mentions child pornography 0 times. Now, this bill is being passed. It's called the Protecting Children from Child Pornographers Act. And if you know politicians, you know that that's when you gotta get suspicious right there. Now, I have some bad news. This isn't only a Canadian problem right now. This exact legislation is being passed in Canada, the US, UK, and Australia simultaneously. Now, this is being put forth as Protecting Children from Child Pornographers Act in all 4 of these countries, and the legislation is the same. It will allow the authorities to look at your internet history, anything that you do on the internet, and they'll be able to take this information and use it for whatever they want. Now, it gets worse. There's a gag order, so if you try to find out whether or not your information has been looked at, the ISPs, the internet service providers, are not allowed to tell you. Now, this has nothing to do with protecting children. Like I said, this is only a way to be able to quell resistance on the internet. Surveillance is a form of censorship. If you know that you're being surveilled, you are less likely to express the true way you feel. Now, the only thing that this internet surveillance does is stop people from doing what we're doing right now, mobilizing, talking about how much they hate the direction the Conservatives are taking this country and getting out on the street. Now this is scaring the shit out of them. They don't want people here letting the truth be known. They want people at home watching television and not giving a shit about politics. This is why this is so important. We have to tell Canadians that very terrible things are being brought to them, to the Conservatives. How many of your friends and family know about Bill C-10? How many people know what Bill C-10 actually does? Very few. A lot of people out here know what it does, and that's why we're out here. How many people actually know what Bill C-30 is? Well, if it wasn't for Vic Toews saying you can either stand with us or with the child pornographers, probably not many people would know about that. Now we saw the day after he said this, and it became national news thanks to people like you on social media and the internet letting it be known. We saw the very next day, Vic Toews came out and a reporter asked him, they said, well, that was some pretty harsh language you were using, that you can either stand with us or be a child pornography sympathizer. Now, I don't know if you've seen the video on YouTube, 30,000 other people have, but what he said was, well, no, that's not what I said. In fact, that's a far cry from what I said. And then it went back to what he said, and he said, you can either stand with us or with the child pornographers. Now, do we want someone who doesn't even realize that we have him on tape saying this stuff? Someone who thinks that the Canadian people are this stupid and this apathetic that he can, the next day, on public television, lie to our faces? Well, the answer is yes, he does. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing these things. Otherwise, they wouldn't try to pass this legislation. So now, we're seeing this happen across the world, and it's going to take one thing. It's going to take a global awakening, a true social revolution where everybody takes a part in politics. This is no longer just, oh yeah, I'm indifferent. I would rather not deal with that right now. I would rather watch television and stay asleep. That's not an option anymore. That might have been an option before, but times have changed. This is not the Canada that we think we're living in right now. This is a banker occupation. 1,100 people were arrested during the G20 protest. They spent $1 billion. There were 10,000 police that day in riot uniforms. They took people, they housed them in chain link cages in a warehouse. These were cages in a warehouse. There were outhouses without doors on them. Women were strip searched by male guards. Okay? They kettled and arrested 1,100 peaceful protesters. This is not the Canada that we grew up in and we're so proud of and thought, it's bad south of us, but here, this is Canada, this is different. That illusion is being shredded every day. If you still believe in that, you need to get on the internet while you still can. Look at this information while you still can, because the conservative government rely on you doing nothing. The conservative government relies on these people in here not caring. They rely on the day-to-day business staying the same. So our duty, our obligation for not only ourselves, but for everybody else in the world and for all the future generations is to get out here, get ourselves on the street, be loud, be pissed off, and tell Vic Toews, we're not your babysitter, so stop trying to screw us. Thank you.